What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another video. And I've got a couple of recent purchases here that I haven't had a chance to share because my house is a disease manufacturing plant. Everyone keeps getting sick. But anyway, we are here finally. And I've got a couple of cool Leias. I didn't have any vintage Leias graded, and somebody listed these fairly recently. And they were very fairly priced, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger on them. And you can see here we got Princess Leia in her Bespin outfit from the Empire Strikes Back line. And then we have Leia also in her Boushh bounty hunter disguise from Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi. And, you know, I did a little research on them just to give you a little backstory on the different variants that are out there. Just so you could take a look at them. But this Leia is probably the more interesting of the two. Let's take a look at her in more detail. But so this is the Bespin Leia, and there are a number of different variants for her. Not as many as the Boushh figure that I'm going to talk about in a second. But this is a really cool one, though. So this one has the turtleneck. I don't know if you can see that because of the shadows. But there's two different versions, basically, for this Leia figure. There is, oh come on, this thing will not, there he goes. So basically this is the turtleneck version of Leia, and you can kind of see it there that, you know, her neck is painted the same color as her dress. Well, there's also a crew neck version where the neck is not painted that color. There's also some variation on the neck collar where the neck is actually more gold, in addition to the collar. There's also face sculpt differences. This is the wider-faced Leia, so she looks kind of chubby, but there's also a thinner-faced variant as well. So the only COO, or not, this is a no COO, but the no COO is the only one that has this turtleneck, at least according to the website I use for variations. But, you know, according to the website, the turtleneck version is always going to be a no COO version. And that's what this is right here, so we'll take a look at it. 1980, Kenner Star Wars, Leia Organa. It's not Organa, it's Organ. Leia Organa. Bespin gown, turtleneck, no CO, one line LFL. Came back in 85. And you can see her weapon there. It's got her kind of characteristic blaster pistol with what looks like almost like a silencer. If this was G.I. Joe. But anyway, it's a very nice figure. But there are a number of different variations for this figure. One of the most expensive variations relates to her cape. So the cape on this one is a very smooth kind of vinyl material, you know, a traditional kind of cape that you see with a lot of these vintage figures, Darth Vader, Obi-Wan, not Luke Farmboy, Vader, Obi-Wan, obviously this Leia, Lando is the other one I was trying to think of. But there's a textured cape version that has almost like a texture to the vinyl. You can see how shiny and smooth that is, but the textured cape is very, very expensive. There's also, that I know of, a textured cape Darth Vader. That I still don't have that one in my collection. I've been looking everywhere for it, for a high grade one. But anyway, the textured Leia Bespins are extremely expensive. Very, very difficult to find. The other variations in terms of COO, really, it's all just Hong Kong. There's three different Hong Kong variations. They're all the Hong Kongs are crew neck. The hair color is another difference. So you can see here that this is the dark brown hair version. I'm sorry about the terrible camera work, but this is the dark brown hair. There's a light brown hair, and then just a standard brown hair. So there's kind of 3 or 4 different color shades, but this is considered the dark brown hair, which is the only one that is available for the no COO versions. So that's one thing that you can look for. The limbs can be a different color red. There's a reddish brown, and then there's like a deeper brown. This is considered, almost like this is considered a brownish red. But the colors can get a little bit even more reddish than that. And then there's also a Hong Kong version with brown, like a medium brown hair, and then very, very brown body and limbs with a crew neck. And then there's also, this one does have the no lipstick variation. So there is a variation that does have lipstick, but it's, I take that back. They're saying that this is actually, I'm looking at my notes as I read this, but, oh, it does have lipstick. I'm sorry. I'm incorrect there, but the no COO version has a very light pink lipstick. I apologize for that, but you can see that on her lips there. But the Hong Kong versions do not have any lipstick, but you can see there on her bottom lip especially, it's like a light pinkish lipstick. So sorry for the misprint. I'm looking through the information that I printed out to make sure I didn't have anything incorrect, and I'm kind of doing two things at once, so I apologize for that. But anyway, the no COO version that you see here also has pink hands, dark brown hair, a chubbier face, the turtleneck, and then a brown body. And then the three Hong Kong versions vary so much, but they all have the thin face, they all have the crew neck. The body and the color of her dress can be a little bit different, but most of them are kind of a reddish brown. And then the hair color is also the big difference. And that's really about it. I guess one of the thumbs on this hand can be a little bit wider. It's harder to see unless I zoom in, but one of the Hong Kong versions for this thumb right here that you see that's kind of pronounced, there is a variation that's even a larger thumb. She's got man hands, guys. She's got man hands. So, but anyway, so this is kind of this no COO version. I've probably talked enough about her, but you get the idea. But in terms of the most expensive, the textured cape Leia that I believe is a Hong Kong is extremely expensive. It's you're talking $500 or $600 for that one for a high grade. Okay, so that's that one. Let's take a look at the Boushh. I don't know how you say it. I call her Boushh, but this is Leia in her Boushh bounty hunter disguise from Return of the Jedi. What a great figure. One of my very favorites, and I've been dying to get one of these. I mean, that weapon is just so ridiculous. Look how large this thing is. It's just a really, really cool... God, I cannot get this camera to focus. Focus! There we go. So you can see how large that thing is relative to her. Very cool, though. And just a great sculpt. I love the helmet. One of the hardest things about finding this Boushh in good condition is her hair. Because of the way that helmet is sculpted, her hair towards the forehead area is almost always got a lot of rub on it. So to get one like this in excellent condition is just incredible. And I got a great deal on this one. This is a 90 plus CAS-graded version. Leia Organa, Hong Kong, Boushh disguise, 1983, 90 plus. So just an awesome score. And typically these can go for quite a bit of money. But I got a very fair deal on this thing. And so let's take a look at the back. I didn't show you the back very much on the Bespin, but you can see the... let's see if I can get a close up here. I don't know if I can get it to focus or not. My camera doesn't want to work today. There we go. So you can kind of see there the COO there, the Hong Kong and on the right leg, and then the LFL on the left. But just a really awesome figure. Okay, let's talk about variations for Boushh now. I do have one being graded right now that is a very interesting one, a very, very difficult factory overstock one to acquire. It's not going to be near mint, but it is going to be awesome. So I'm not going to spoil it, but it is a very, very high demand Boushh that is difficult to find. And that is in grading right now. I expect that to be back probably in February or March. So let's take a look at the different variations. So there are a number, much more in terms of variations than the Bespin Leia, but the Princess Leia in Boushh disguise, there is a Hong Kong COO with 1, 2, 3 different sculpts. There's a Taiwan variation that has 3 different sculpts. There's obviously a Lily Letty, and then a no COO version as well. And I mean, the number of items that can vary are just crazy. There's a pink face, there's a pale face variant. There are some different changes to the back of the knee. There's brown hair versus dark brown hair versus glossy brown hair. I mean, it's just crazy how many. There's a couple of small different changes to the canisters on her uniform. This canister right here. So I mean, so total variations according to this website: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different variations for this Boushh figure. Hong Kong, Taiwan, no COO, and Lily Letty. And within those, there's different variations just based on the face sculpt. But basically, it relates to changes to slight differences on her knees, the hair color, face color, and then the torso color can be. I think for the Letty, it's almost like a tannish like a glossier kind of color. Let me double check that. Yeah, so it's like a glossier kind of finish with the Letty, but this one's more of a matte finish on her torso. So anyway, probably more information than you wanted, but you know, these are just 2 examples that I just picked up since I didn't have any Leias graded yet. Got great deals on them, and especially this Boushh. I mean, the 90 plus is an awesome score, and so I'm excited to get it. And this is one of the harder ones to find in good shape, the no COO Leia and Bespin. But that textured cape, man, I don't know if I'll ever get that one. That's a very expensive one. But anyway, I just thought I'd take a look at them and just talk briefly about some of the different variations. Hopefully, as I kind of build these out and get a few other variations, we can kind of compare them in real time instead of me just reading off a piece of paper. Thanks for watching.